Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Don't Panic. This is our part 3 of the Rack Focus series that we're doing about Rack Focus round 3, round 6, the film competition, part 3. And so what we're doing is we are taking filmmakers from this round and talking about their films because they are in competition right now for the coveted award of best film, and that's going to be on Sunday, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, I'm going to have my guests introduce themselves, the name of their project, and what your position was on the crew.
Okay, my name is Mike Scarlett, and the name of my film is Dominion EMP, and I wrote the film, wrote the story, and helped direct it and acted in it.
Nice. Excellent.
My name is Irina Spitzer, and I have 2 films coming for this round. One of them is called Star Love, and it's about love. And another one is called Devil's Den, and it's about love.
Okay.
And I wrote and directed both of them, and I'm also acting in both of them, not the major roles, but you'll see me in there as well.
Nice.
I'm Duard Lawrence. I wrote Frustration and Living Historians. I acted in both of them. One is I guess it's a story about your average guy being frustrated with the stuff that's going on in the world today. And the other one is kind of a mini documentary type acting, represents the people that do reenactments and the air shows and that sort of thing.
Very nice. And so now we do have one guest that has not been on the show before, which is Irina.
Aww.
I thought you had been on the show before.
No, I haven't.
No? I think I had invited you before.
Excited.
Yeah, it's good because you're a very busy woman.
Yes, I was so busy. I couldn't wait to come over at this time.
Very good. Well, I'm glad you did. So let's start with you, ladies first. Now, you have been in the competition before, and from what I understand, unless I'm mistaken, you have, with each round that you have been in, you've done multiple projects. It hasn't only been one, has it? Or?
Well, I acted in quite a few films, and I only had one of my own films put for the Rock Focus. I think it was Rock Focus number 4.
Possibly.
Yes.
It was where you had a twin, right?
Yes, I was playing it twins. But this is my film number 4 and number 5 that's coming for the Rock Focus. So I only made 5 films total. So
I wouldn't even say only 5. That's 5 films. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, so I'm having more to go. So
Nice. So I know, like with the first one, which it's one of my personal favorites from all of the rounds because you were so animated in it. I remember the judges loved it too. What was it called? Where you were twins?
Oh, Test.
Okay, yeah, because you played 2 characters.
Yes.
They're twin sisters, and they sort of kind of have a love-hate relationship.
Yes. That was interesting for me to play 2 different characters in the same film. And 2 different sisters, and they are twins, which is amazing. They look alike. They look so much alike, but they are so different. Their lives are so different. And so for me, it was interesting to try to show how people there's no explanation for them, and they're wondering about it, why their lives are so totally different, even though they are so identical. And so it was interesting for me to explore that. And actually, I think I have an answer in that film because somebody eventually tells them why that happens.
Got it. Yeah.
Don't know if it's true or not, but they got the answer.
Now, if for people who have not seen that film, where can they find it? Is it anywhere?
They can find it pretty soon because I'm working on the sound. The sound wasn't perfect there.
Okay.
So once I'm finished with that, I'm going to be announcing about that one.
Got it. Okay. So now tell me about this round's films. So you said the first one is called
Star Love.
Star Love, that's right. Okay, so I have to say, I don't like to talk much about any of the films because I want all of you to go to the premiere, but it's one of the more original ones, I think, as far as storyline goes. Because I've seen some people who've watched the montage, which we are going to screen later in the show, so don't go anywhere. But when they see yours pop up, they say, "What the hell is going on?" In a good way. It's intriguing.
It's a comedy, and I wanted it to be entertaining. So I wanted to be something different.
Have y'all seen it? Oh, you've seen it. Okay.
He been in that one.
Oh, that's right. You were in it.
Yeah.
Duh, yeah.
We're in the show business, so people come to watch, right?
Yeah.
Not to listen when it comes to the films. They come to watch. So I wanted to make sure we had bright colors, and wanted to make sure that we have bright films. So I guess we succeeded with that part.
I immediately connected to it because it gave me a sort of a Barbarella feel, like the costumes and the feel of it, which was a little campy but fun and interesting. I was like, I like this. This is original.
Even though, this story has more meaningful context to it, because, I like to deliver a message. So this story is about love, just like I said. So I hope that people get some deeper sense out of it, not just it being comedy. So we'll see.
Nice. And then the second one is also about love, but it's very different.
Oh, yes.
And this one is called Devil's Den.
Devil's Den.
Yes, so tell us about that one.
Devil's Den, it's also a fiction story. And it's a drama, but I wanted it also to be colorful and entertaining, and I wanted to be again different. So this film is artsy, it's poetic, and a little bit strange. It starts as it will be a documentary, but it ends as a fictional story. And hopefully at the end of it, it's going to make people think. So that's what my goal is my films. I want people to think about it.
Gotcha.
And the message that it delivers.
Well, see, I mean, just by you saying that, of course, I've already watched them because I watch them to clear them when they're being turned in. But just you saying that makes me want to see it again because you make it very intriguing. So you're marketing your films very well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and they're completely different, I have to say. For you being the director on both of them, it's a big deal because when you said, well, I've only done 5, I'm thinking, do you know how many people have started a Rack Focus film and then didn't finish it or still to this day haven't finished it? You write them, you direct them, you complete them, and you screen them. So that's already an accomplishment.
Yes, but each one of my films, I have something for people to ponder later about, to think later.
What was the biggest thing that you learned from the previous round where you had test to this one? Because I can see the advancement that you've done creatively.
Well, I started from the less advanced, just like you said, for the reason, because I didn't have that much experience in making films on my own, so I tried to, for the first one, not to be that complicated. So what I've learned is more people you get in your film, so better. Don't be afraid to get as many actors and crew members as you possibly can, because it's better to have more people working on your film than less people, which that's the position that I had changed since I started working on my first film.
Very nice. So if somebody approached you and said, hey, I'm thinking of making films and I'm a female, well, anyone in general, but specifically for females because there are less of them and there need to be more, what advice would you give them?
I will tell them that females are people as well as males. So I don't look at the filmmakers as any other profession. Workers as it's male or female. It's what difference does it make? I don't care about your sexual organs, right? If you can do it, then do it. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Just go ahead and do it. Why to be afraid? I know a lot of males that are afraid to do some things, you know.
Yeah.
So
Just do it.
you just do it.
Nice. Well, guys, we have to cut to our first break, but before we do, I'm going to be giving away 2 free tickets to Sunday's event, which is going to be at the Texas Theater this Sunday, November 12th. Doors open at 5:30. The show begins at 6:30. And whoever answers this first on the comment section or the thread section. Now, there's a catch. If you are a part or you are one of the filmmakers of the movies, you cannot answer. Anybody else can, but if you're the owner or one of the main people on the film, you cannot enter. Just to be fair, Shannon. And the question is, name any of the 3 titles of Irina's films that she has had in Rack Focus. The first person that answers that gets these 2 free tickets. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Duard and to Mike about their projects, and later on, we're going to be showing the Rack Focus film montage that we have for round 6, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My gosh.
And we are back. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, which is all about Rack Focus Round 6, which is happening at the Texas Theater this coming Sunday, November 12th. Doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6:30. We have 21 films, all DFW produced. They have all been shot in the last 3 months, and they are all competing for the top prize, which is Best Film. And I know we were talking to Irina before we cut to break, but if you're just now joining us, I'm going to have all of my guests reintroduce themselves.
I'm Mike Scarlett.
Irina Spitzer. I'm a writer, actress, and a film director.
Duard Lawrence.
Nice, nice. So, Mike, let's get to you now. Okay, so you've been on the show before because, if I recall, one of the last times you were on the show, it was because you had been nominated.
Yes.
For
Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, for the stare, right?
Yes,
yeah, because I personally thought you were the standout as well, because you just
thank
really hammed it up. I still have the visual of you in slow motion with the wind hitting you and you're holding a rose. I thought that was really great. So I also understand there's a part 2. Were you in that one as well?
Yes, I was.
Okay, very nice. But that's not your film. You have another film.
Yes, I have another film.
Got it, because you were just an actor in that one.
Right.
Okay, so tell us about your film.
Well, my film is Dominion EMP. It's a post-apocalyptic film. It's about after all the bombs drop and survival, and it's a drama, and had a great time filming it. And the cast was actually, absolutely wonderful, and I couldn't be more pleased with their performance.
Nice. Now, is this the first film that is actually like your film in Rack Focus?
No, I had another one.
What was your other one?
What was it? Arkansas.
Arkansas lynching.
It was an Arkansas lynching, and it
That's
also
right.
was a drama.
Got it. Okay. So now when you were doing this one, what made you come up with this storyline specifically?
Well, you remember at the pitch session what I pitched?
Refresh everybody's
I didn't have a pitch.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't have a film. I didn't have anything, and so
That's right, because I think you said that.
right. And I wrote another script for another film, and the actress that I was going to use couldn't do it, so I had to scramble for another idea. And so this kind of came to me.
Okay.
And with all the stuff with North Korea, the idea of nuclear war, I thought, this might be a time to do something like this.
Very nice.
It's kind of like let's think about what we're doing, and we don't want to have nuclear war because it'll devastate everything.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so
Don't want to
great.
get too heavy, but
Yeah. Now, I understand you have a poster that you
I
brought
do,
with you.
yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
okay.
Nice.
Is that upright? Yeah.
Yeah, can you see it? Here, put it right there in between you.
Okay.
There you go. Nice. So now there's a really cool stuff on the poster. So let's see. I see like a bomb that looks like an atom bomb that's up here. A post-apocalyptic story of survival. Okay. Now, are you also the lead in this?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So tell us some, because it looks like you have a really cool cast here. So
I do. This young man right here is Danny Augustus, and he really plays a great bad guy.
Okay.
And then we have Deward, and over here is
that looks like Ryan. Is that
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
And you had him on last week.
Yes.
Yeah, and he did a great job too. And that's me. And this is Jessica Ray, and you're going to fall in love with her. She's just really great. And then over here is this is a man who's not acted before, and he's a rancher down in Hill County. His name is what is his name? Rick Penner. I'm sorry if you're watching, Rick. I didn't forget your name. I know who you are. But Rick has a ranch down there. We filmed some of this on his ranch, and then on the end here is Devin Northrup.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks like Devin.
And Devin is a fantastic actor. I just was very pleased. He also directed several days for us.
Oh, nice.
And he has some very creative. He's if you ever need a director to bring some creativity to your film, he's got it.
Very nice.
So anyway.
Excellent. So now, with that, you say it's post-apocalyptic. So if someone were to tell me I'm doing a post-apocalyptic film, the first thing I would think is, okay, locations. It can't be like in the city unless it's an abandoned city. What did you do as far as locations?
This is all filmed out in the wild,
Okay.
and we did it on 3 or 4 different locations, and finding some of the locations was a little bit tough. One of them is on the water, and it's awfully hard to find a place we can film and get permission to film.
Right.
Finally found that, and but it's. What else do you want to know about that?
Well, I was going to say, you also have the issue, if it's going to be outside, you also have the issue of weather, and we all know what Dallas weather's like. Was that an issue?
Our weather was just perfect.
Oh, good.
I wish it had actually been worse
Uh-huh.
because
Oh,
I would have liked to have had some inclement weather, but the weather was real good.
Got it. And how big was your cast like being out there? Because it's not like you have access to a big house and a bathroom, or unless you did, and we just didn't know.
Well, everything there was we had the ability to do that.
Okay.
But Jessica, I think it kind of pushed her limits a little bit because she had to, she is in the country. She's a city girl.
Yeah.
But everybody else got along just fine and
Got it.
had a great time.
And without, giving any spoilers or anything, I know that there are, like kidnap scenes, fight scenes, a scene in like a canoe. I mean, there was a lot that...
A lot happening.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to shoot? How many days?
Well, I did 1 day of B-roll to get, scenes and things. And then we filmed 3 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. And where does the title come from?
Well, Dominion, I want to do a film about EMPs, which is electromagnetic pulse. And the theory is if a nuclear bomb hit our country, it would knock out the electronics in our country. There's been a lot of stuff written about
No
that.
phone?
No phone. No phone and no TV.
That's torture right there.
No electricity, and it would shut down our cars, everything. And so people would be on foot, and food would be an issue because there would be no transportation for food. And there'd be a lot of, the stuff that happened at Katrina would be a cakewalk compared to what a nuclear attack would be in this country. And so I tried to portray that in the film and discuss that a little bit. And but anyway, it was a lot of action. And the guy Danny and Devin, man, they really did a good job in portraying their scenes.
I know in a couple of scenes there were some fight scenes. Was there someone that you had on there to do like fight choreography, or was it just done on the fly?
We did it on the fly. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anyone get hurt?
Well, no.
Okay, good. Then y'all kind of knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I don't know about that, but
It looked like y'all knew what you were doing, which is what counts, right?
Yeah. I fell down once or twice doing what I was doing.
Oh, okay. All right. What was the most difficult part of shooting this post-apocalyptic film?
It wasn't really that hard. I mean, location. I guess finding locations was the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
And you get some good actors together, and you have a good script. I'm saying my script is good.
Of course, you should.
But you have a good story, and,
Yeah.
and allow them to encourage them to really let it all hang out and just put themselves into it and actually be that character. That's what I was going for when I was directing. Is I wanted each of my actors to be. I didn't want this to look fake. I wanted it to look real, and I think they did a good job doing that.
And were you one of those lucky people that on your set you just got the most perfect crew that you had no problems? Because you haven't mentioned anything like, oh, and we didn't have this person. It seems like kind of smooth sailing.
We did this. Everybody that worked on the set was crew. All the actors were crew.
Oh,
And
okay.
Deward even had his hands on the camera.
Gotcha.
Deward was in the film, and so
Yeah.
he's one of the bad guys too.
Oh, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Deward, why would he cast you as a bad guy? You're so nice.
Don't know. It must be my bald head.
Or your voice.
Or my
That
voice.
voice right there. That
Yes.
raspy voice, right,
Gonna
Irina?
do
Yeah,
something.
secretive.
But Deward did a great job, but we did use we had a small crew, and there was no more than 4 or 5 people in it every time we went out.
Got it. Very nice. Oh, guys, we have to take another break. And before we go, we are going to give away 2 more tickets. I haven't even checked the comments yet to see about the first round, but we will again. If you would like 2 tickets to this Sunday's Rack Focus premiere red carpet event, you have to answer this on the live thread. The first person to answer correctly wins 2 free tickets. And the question is, name the first film that Mike Scarlett did in Rack Focus. He just talked about it a few minutes ago. If you can name that film, you get these 2 free tickets. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. Lawrence here about his films, because he has 2 this round. And we're also going to show you the official Rack Focus commercial/montage of films. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Don't Panic. This is part 3 of our Rack Focus, the film competition series, leading up to this coming Sunday, which is the red carpet premiere event that is happening at the Texas Theater. Doors open at 5:30. The show begins at 6:30. We have 21 films, all DFW made, all done in the last few months, and they are all competing for 9 different awards. We have, and let me see, help me out here. Okay. We have, of course, Best Film, Second Best Film, Third Best Film, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Outside the Box Award, and the Audience Award. 9 different awards, all up for grabs, and we have somebody on the show that has 2 projects this round as well. So that's, well, you've been a part of all the rounds starting with, was it round 2?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
I have completed 6 films on my own, and I've acted in a number of other people's. So
Very nice. Very cool. Because, you know, I still remember when you came to the pitch session and you were dressed up.
yes.
And you got everyone's attention because it was you and somebody else, I think.
Dean Asher, probably. He's
Yeah.
always been my number 2 guy in the reenactment world. So
Yeah, because if you couldn't tell, the moment you started your pitch, everyone was listening because they're like, who is this guy that's all dressed up? We have to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
And ever since then, you've had our attention.
Well, I've been learning a lot, and maybe I have something to say now.
Nice. Well, speaking of something to say, tell us about which one, whatever project you want to start off with. Which one? Because you have 2.
Okay. Well, I'll start with frustration.
Okay. Is it because you're frustrated?
Yes, absolutely. God, how could you tell? Actually, frustration was a work of art. I tried to do that last round, and everything kept falling through. I couldn't get location, and I'd get a location and fall through, get my actors lined up. Nobody's schedule was compatible. I was getting, true to the title, it was frustrating.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I know you're in it.
Yes, and thank you for not mentioning me, inspiring you to go on with that film. And I'm so glad that we did it. I love the script, so I'm proud of you.
Actually, Irina did inspire me. I just knew I had to have her. I've been wanting her for a long time, but she plays hard to get. So
I heard that about her.
Thank you.
But
It's because she's a proper lady. She has to play hard to get.
That's a nice compliment.
She's not interested in your organs, though.
You have to bring that up.
She's made that quite obvious. Oh, well, what can I say? If it was out to there, I mean, never mind.
Clear now.
I can't help it. It's kind of there.
I'm
But,
sorry I
um,
said that.
Hey, it's good to flush. All right.
Right. It's okay. It's just broadcast live.
Yeah.
There's no editing.
Well, anyway, you want to know about frustration. In the same vein that Mike was talking about with all the things that are going on in the world, I wanted to create a story that kind of had the embodiment of the person who is the vehicle. It's you and me, an average person. We see all this stuff that's going on in the world on television and, out in the street, how people are just freaking out about stuff. And then the bottom line is, what can you do about it? Nothing.
Right.
And so the moral of my story was we live in a world of shit. And that can be negative or positive if you want to take it that way. So we're going to follow our character as he progresses through his day with everything that's going on around us. And
Now, is it safe to say to the audience, without spoiling anything, that there's also a touch of supernaturalness, something or other going on?
yeah, because there's that play of, I don't know if you want to call it good and bad. There's influence, there's temptations. I mean, we're just human, come on, So yeah, there's going to be a little of that. And,
Irina, are you the temptation?
I'm resentment.
Well, I'm not giving too much away, but Irina plays my wife.
That has you frustrated?
That has me frustrated.
Your beautiful wife.
Of course.
Yes, with great rollers. I love the look and that whole scene. Yeah, love it.
But it was a fun shoot for everybody. I think we pulled it off. So that was the big accomplishment. We started it. It took quite a while because we couldn't shoot it all in a day. Obviously,
Got it.
We had to get locations, and we'd lose locations. I'd have to change crew members.
So from the moment when you were trying to do it last round, where everything fell through, to this round, what happened in this round that you were able to get it done?
I don't honestly know. I just kept pushing it and pushing it. I did. There were segments where I had to direct. I had to find new cameramen. I had to find new sound men. But
I know what happened.
It all worked. What happened?
What happened?
What happened, David, is that you didn't let obstacles to stop you. When you didn't have an actor that day, you replaced an actor, and I think it worked great that way because we have a transition there. You will see it in the film. I think it worked out even better. When he didn't have a crew member, he looked for another crew member. He actually had it done at this time. You were not making any excuses. Oh, we don't have, everybody together this day, or you actually went all the way and you had it done, and that's what it takes, and that's what we're here for, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment.
Well, thank you. Yes. No, I was just determined this time not to do this. It was just I'm not taking excuses. We're going to find a way to get it
And
done.
you did, and you got it done.
So we got it done.
Now, I have to say,
Okay.
the first thing that people are going to notice, I noticed it, is the look of the film is beautiful. The footage, the lighting. Who shot it for you? What did they use?
Well, I had two cameramen. I had Barbados, which everybody knows. He's a great guy. He has Dark Eyed Films, does a lot of editing for folks. And I used Patrick Dumas as well, and he's an accomplished filmmaker in his own right. And I used Scott Latimer as sound, and I had David Hilton, Richard Hare, fill in here, do this and do that. So all of those people really came through. And
Nice.
We had Natalie Jones, we had Shannon Hook, and just a great cast of people. Irina was there. And so, it was broken down in segments. So after we did this first act, I call them acts, first scene, whatever, then we'd move on and go to the next location and bring the actors in for that part.
Gotcha.
I had some great locations. My buddy at the Texas Musicians Museum, Thomas Creason, let us use his location, and that was one of my last documentary on his facility. So really good of him. Provided great catering.
Yeah.
You got to feed your people and give them
Right,
perks and
absolutely.
stuff, so.
Now, I don't want to spend all the time with just that one
Okay.
project, because I know that
Yeah.
you have a documentary as well. So tell us about that one, because you actually went to an event
Yes.
that I hope everyone knows about, and if they don't, where was this?
Okay, so the Executive Airport in the Redbird Mall area has a yearly show now. They bring in the commemorative Air Force with all the vintage aircraft. And since I have an interest in history and like to make, quote, war movies, I guess, these are the people that I draw resources from, like the Motor Vehicle Preservation Association out of Camp Howie, and Brad Meeks and John Sprout are very instrumental people that I work with. So if I need a tank or a half track, I can go to them and say, can we use some of your stuff? And they'll say, yeah, if we can be in the movie. And I'll say, great, you can be in the movie. And so what I wanted to show everybody this time, it's kind of a miniature documentary reenactment. We're still working on my war movie to make it into a feature that we've talked about. And so I just wanted to blend that together, and what a great environment. We had a 1940 environment. We had all these vintage aircraft. We conducted some interviews. You get to see the sights and sounds that are going on there. So
I think I hear you.
what I wanted to
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching you on her.
Oh, you can do it. You just turn it down.
Yeah.
So,
People are commenting
Oh, got it.
oh, we got to have our technology. You know,
Yeah.
it's just part of who we are.
till the EMP's hit.
But I'd recommend everybody that wants to be involved in that to go see that. It's a yearly show. They're having the Waxahachie World War II European event that we have every year in Waxahachie. This coming weekend. So I might be there to visit, but I'm not going to participate. But if you've never been to one of these events and you're interested in this sort of thing, it is available for anybody to go see and to experience.
Nice. And when you went to cover that project is called what?
The second film is called Living Historians.
Mm-hmm. Now, what would you call it as far as a genre? Because it's a mix of things.
Well, we're interviewing people that do reenactments. We're interviewing people who are in the business of trying to educate people about history. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be half of let's do a little skit on a continuation of what you might see if we did a reenactment movie about the 1940s, and we're blending in the sights and sounds that are going on around at the moment. So it's part educational documentary, it's part fantasy, I guess, or fiction, but it's something in there for everybody.
Got it. Yeah, and it's very different. So for those of you who have no clue what he's talking about, you have to come out on Sunday evening and watch the film.
Absolutely.
Because what placement is yours in the?
You know, I think I am. My films are going to be 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. So you're at the first half.
I'm at the first half of it.
Yeah. So come out to the Texas Theater, guys. We are going to take another break, and when we come back, we are going to show the Rack Focus 6 montage. Oh, you know what? Let's just go and do the montage right now. Yeah.
You're going to do a question for...
Oh, yes. We are going to give away 2 more tickets. 2 more tickets right here. The answer. The question that you have to answer correctly on the thread, on the Facebook Live thread to get these 2 tickets is, who plays Duard's wife in Frustration? We just talked about it a few minutes ago. If you answer that correctly, you get 2 free tickets. We are going to show you the Rack Focus Round 6 commercial / montage of films, and we will be right back. Enjoy.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed that. Guys, that is the official lineup for Rack Focus Round 6, which is going to be this coming Sunday at the Texas Theater. Showtime starts at 6:30, doors open at 5:30, and you can get advanced and discounted tickets on rackfocusdallas.com if you go to the homepage right now. If not, you can still get them at the ticket counter at the theater. I think advanced tickets are $10. At the door will be $15. 21 short films, and 5 of them are done by these people in the studio right now. So before we go on, I know Mike, you wanted to. You had kind of forgotten to mention a couple of people.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that I really appreciated their help, and Christopher Vaughn is one of them. He did some special effects for us that I'm excited for y'all to see.
Nice.
And then another good friend of mine, Mark Lanier, was one of our cameramen. I wanted to mention him, and he's been very faithful to help me out, and so I appreciate him.
Excellent. So I have a few questions for all of you to answer. So one of them is, with all of you, being in Rack Focus and being filmmakers here and being a part of it, what do you do if someone approaches you and the money's pretty darn good, but the script is terrible? Would you do it?
It depends what position they want me for. If they want me to act
To
or
direct.
To direct, yes, I will do it, because I believe that good director can make it happen.
Okay. Even if you read the script and you're like, oh, this is a terrible script, but they're like, no, we're not changing it. This is the script, but here's a lot of money.
I probably shouldn't say it, but I've read some horrible scripts, and those films had won some prizes at the film festivals.
Okay.
So it's not everything about the script. I mean, every team member contributes, but directing is a big thing. So
Gotcha. Okay. So you say you would do it. You guys?
I probably would.
Yeah.
If I had, some creative license with the directing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if they said, yeah, you can, you just can't change anything in the script as far as like the dialogue or anything that's happening in it, but you can take any freedoms with angles and stuff.
I probably would.
Okay.
Yep. Well, I have to agree. If the money was good, I mean, you've got free creative expression to work with everybody while you're doing that production.
A director can really change the course of a film with their creative insight of how a scene should be played out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, that's good to know. All right, and so now, would you do a film that was not normally something that you would do as far as like subject matter or anything, but you were guaranteed distribution? Let's just say it was, I don't know, something that was completely out of the norm for you that you wouldn't normally do, and they said,
I would.
Yeah.
For the exposure, for the advertisement, just for the experience. Sure, why not?
okay.
I had that question when I was asked to act in one of the films, and I just said, this is your project. I'm just an actress. I'm doing my job. So as far as the actors, that we put ourselves into other people's shoes. So if you're directing it, you can have your opinion or 10 of your own opinions, but I think it's not about delivering your opinion, but having other people think about the issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Mike?
Are you referring to directing or acting?
Directing. Like being the person in charge, like the producer or the director.
I think I'd have to look at the project and not just say categorically yes, because if it's something I didn't want to be a part of, I wouldn't necessarily. But I would be open.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. And so one of our viewers asks, will my advance ticket purchase be at the ticket office and not mailed? Yes. So for all of you who go to rackfocusdallas.com and you purchase your ticket online, we will have your name at the ticket counter, and you just give them your name and they will give you free tickets. Thank you, Terry. So I have another question. Who one name of an inspiration that made you want to make movies?
Tarantino.
Tarantino. Okay.
Yeah.
Cannot name one name.
Okay, we'll get back to you in a second.
Well, as far as big movie, like you're talking about big
Yeah,
director-
anybody. Anyone, really.
Well, I'd say that Glenn Franklin inspired me. He encouraged me
Wow.
because I was acting in his films, and one day he said, "Mike, you ought to make one." And so I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, you could do it." And I thought, "Well, maybe I can." So I would give Glenn credit for that.
Wow. That's a huge compliment.
But you know what? We got to give Israel credit because you're instrumental in bringing us all together, opening the door, and allowing us to show our skills and talent. And other people are starting to, I'm auditioning more. I'm getting involved with people. I never would have done that unless I'd have met you. So,
Well, thank you very much.
You inspire us.
Robert, you inspire us. And I had an awkward moment a couple of weeks ago. I've been approached at some event by an actress. She wants to be an actress, and she called me by my name, and she said, "You inspire me." And I didn't know what to say. Oh, stop it, the type of thing. And then I started thinking, I wanted to tell her, you inspire me, Israel, you inspire me, Mike inspires me, Deborah inspires me. Every one of you, we all inspire each other, right? And this is why we're here, because we take challenges, we like challenges, and we inspire each other, and we're doing it together. We help each other grow. So every one of my actors' friends, everybody, you guys inspire me.
That's a good answer. And, Duard, I really appreciate that because I know when I was getting Rack Focus started for round one, I thought, I'm sure that there are other films being shot out there, but I don't know about it, but I want to support them. I want to go to a screening that they have. So I would only hear about them, like somebody over here, somebody over there. And, oh, yeah, they made this movie. And I'm like, well, where can we see these? Are they on YouTube? But I want to see them as a group. And I kept getting people saying, well, there isn't enough work. Oh, I need to audition more. I need this. And I thought, how can I fix all of these problems? All everyone needs is just motivation to create. And I thought, if I can provide a platform where I'm going to screen it for you on a big screen with a lot of people, that's how it got started. And I said, okay, now I need to think of rules and everything. And so I'm so happy that this is what it's become, and it's actually helping and working and getting projects finished.
Well, you've created a community here with all these different people, all the actors and directors, and it's really, I'm grateful for it.
Thank you very much. I love it, and I love every second, especially when someone's working on a film. Yes, it just makes me feel good. That's what does it for me. So I appreciate y'all mentioning that. Guys, we have to take our last break. When we come back, we're going to round out the show. We're going to let them promote their projects and talk more about Rack Focus. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're going to pay me $100 for saying that?
No. Right. Yeah. I don't know, because that one daughter of Lonnie, I don't trust them at all. Yeah. No. So after we come back from break, we're gonna have 2 minutes, and I'll just let you guys promote your project and anything else you want to say. Yeah. That's right. That's me. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Don't Panic. I'm going to let my guests promote themselves, promote their project, whatever they'd like to say, starting right here to my left.
Well, I hope you come out and see all the films, and I hope you enjoy my film. I think it's will make you think, and I would say that the whole film was inspired by the fact that I hate war, and I think war destroys. War takes away so much. I've done a lot of study in my own family history and how how the Civil War devastated my family, and then also Germany, what it did to their people, and so if we went into a nuclear war, it would put us back into the Stone Ages, folks. So we need to do what we can to avert that, and that's what this is about.
Got it. Nice. Irina?
My name is Irina Spitzer, and I'm a writer, actress, and director. And I'd like to continue Michael's idea about the apocalypse, because one of my films, which is a comedy, is called Star Love. And when I was writing this film, it's total fiction, of course, but I was coming from the idea that we do have a Star War film, but we don't have Star Love.
Ooh, that's a great little tagline, yeah.
So why are we always fighting and fighting and fighting, and why can't we just all get along? So that's how I got with the name of the film. And the second film that's coming for this Rock Focus is called Devil's Den, and that one I hope is gonna make you pondering also about the thank you.
Sure.
About the point of view we sometimes have on things, but it might turn out to be totally opposite. And sometimes we want to judge somebody for doing something which might turn out to be different thing. And sometimes we don't know where evil hides. We might think, okay, maybe I should say the film is about cheating, but we never consider the other side of the story and why people do such things and why they do this thing or the other thing. So hopefully that will turn a little bit of the discussion to a little bit different direction, and it just makes people think that maybe we shouldn't judge right away. Maybe we should try to put ourselves into other people's shoes.
Nice.
Well, I'll just conclude that, Mike's right. We have the ability to destroy ourselves. We don't have the means to get off this planet. And we're all stuck in the same boat. And whatever happens, happens. And whatever's left is going to be, something of fiction and something of reality. The other side of the coin is that because of all the stuff that's going on in the world and the frustrations we're feeling, perhaps people should read more history to try to get a little clarification rather than coming to assume things without knowledge. And in that vein, I think, it's very important that we support our veterans, and the aspects of the living historian hopefully does that, and we celebrate and we give thanks to those who have put their lives on the line and given their lives so we can enjoy what we're doing now. I think it's pretty obvious if you look at the regime in North Korea, that totalitarian society is closed, and it's just infallible to think about what could happen. But we as people have the ability to shape our course of destiny and the society we live in, but we still need to learn how to get together and solve that problem.
Gotcha. And guys, you can see all of these films this coming Sunday. Doors open at 5:30, showtime at 6:30 at the Texas Theater, which is located, I think, at 361 West Jefferson Boulevard in North Oak Cliff. Texas Theater has been very good to Rack Focus. They have hosted the last few rounds. Come out, see 21 films. Some of the filmmakers are right here. And we're also screening a short film winner from SMU Crum Commons, and it's called Pumpkin Patches, which is also very good as well. We're all about short films and becoming the platform to get you to the next level that you need to be. And we hope to see you on Sunday. I want to thank all of my guests for being on my show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and we will see you on the red carpet, and we will see all of you on the red carpet. We'll see you on Sunday. Have a good weekend.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.